I'd like to welcome in now our political panel, Democratic strategist David Carlucci and Republican strategist Matt Klink. Gentlemen, thank you both for your time. I'd like to start with just getting each of your reactions to this pardon. David, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think President Biden is in a very difficult situation here, a very difficult position, and he did what a father would do, and he articulated that in the statement that he put out, what I think was very well thought out, and articulates the position that Hunter Biden was singled out because he is the president's son, and charges like this would be a slap on the wrist, but instead he was facing a lengthy prison sentence, and I think he did what any father would do. And I think under the circumstances, it puts forth this idea that, yes, we have to stop these witch hunts under our criminal justice system. And any side of the aisle that you stand on, you can point a finger and always say that these are politically motivated. So we have to figure out a way to move away from that by not singling out people because they're related to someone or hold a political office, that there is a separate set of rules that they play by. So I think the president detailed that in his statement, and I think he did the right thing.
All right. Well, speaking of political, singling out, witch hunts, Matt, I do want to get to you, but first I do want to note there at the bottom of our screen, President Biden right now landing in Angola. He is the first U.S. president to visit there. He'll be talking about some global health initiatives. But Matt, I throw it over to you now. What are your thoughts about this move by our president?
Look, this was the least worst kept secret in Washington, D.C. It was pretty evident that this was coming. I agree that, a father will always protect his kid. But if it's a pattern by Joe Biden, that, look, he has lied repeatedly about this. He said he had no interaction with Hunter's business and business associates. We know that that's now not the case. He said repeatedly that he wouldn't pardon Hunter, that he would allow the justice system to work. Now we know that that was complete and utter malarkey, to use a Biden word. And I always find it interesting when, now that the Democrats are out of power and hold zero reigns of power come January 20th, that they're like, this witch hunt needs to stop. We've endured a Department of Justice and FBI-sponsored political witch hunt against anything and everything Donald Trump since 2017. So the best part now that Hunter Biden has this 11-year blanket pardon for things that he did, and unknown as well, is that now Hunter Biden has no excuse and he can come testify in Congress about the Biden crime family and the $27 million that we know about that they've received by Hunter selling and trading on the Biden name. So it's just typical. Look, Joe Biden is a Paul. He's a 50-year Politico, and he did what a politician does. So I love it that the Dems are now tucking tail and trying to explain away what they promised the American public that Joe Biden wouldn't do. It's great. That's why I love politics.
Well, exactly. I mean, it certainly is interesting because, we have heard, David, time after time from the president, from his staffers, that he would not pardon Hunter. I'd like to listen to what the White House press secretary said aboard Air Force One just moments ago.
And so the president believed enough is enough, and the president took action. And he also believes that they tried to break his son in order to break him. That's what we saw. And this, again, I am just repeating what the president said. I think the statement in full really lays out his thought process. He said that he came to this decision this weekend, and he wrestled with it. It wasn't an easy decision to make.
So, David, it's no surprise that Republicans, are seizing on all of the words, the verbiage that we heard in the past about him not doing this. But why do you think he changed his mind? Is it because it's his son, or do you think this really was the plan all along?
No, I think he laid it out in that statement that, look, this wouldn't have happened were it not he related to the president, right? Hunter, if he wasn't related, if it was Hunter Smith, this wouldn't be the case. But because it's Hunter Biden, it is. And look, we make these points casting stones at the other side of the aisle. But look, I don't think this is a Republican or Democratic thing. The fact that we can say that the DOJ was prosecuting Donald Trump and Hunter Biden at the same time, it just rings hollow. I think the issue is that you have prosecutors that get rewarded, whether it's through the media, the press, whatever it is, for going after political families, political people. And I think that we see through that as Democrats, Republicans. We have to get to the bottom of it. And that's what will restore people's trust in the Department of Justice and criminal enforcement across the board, that you shouldn't just be rewarded because you found a politician. Yes, when politicians are corrupt, they deserve to go to prison. No questions asked. But we can't have this hyper sensitivity to someone being treated unequally because of who they are. And I think that's on the Republican side, that's on the Democratic side. We've heard both parties complain about it. But I'm hopeful that something can be done in this regards. I don't have the answer. But I'm hopeful that we can move towards it, get it out in the open, and have conversations about it, because something has to be done on this issue.
All right. And I think it comes down to trying to figure out, what is the definition of the unequal, the unfair treatment? Because, Matt, over to you. The president-elect now is hinting about, pardoning the January 6th rioters. Obviously, those are not his children. But he posted on Truth Social, in part, does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages who have now been imprisoned for years, end quote. So, Matt, if Trump does choose to do that, do you think Democrats can really say anything?
Well, of course they will, because it's politics, and I think no one should be surprised. I do find David has a tough job today, along with Karine Jean-Pierre, trying to explain away or justify the actions of the president. Look, who knows what Donald Trump's going to do when he comes into office? But I can tell you this, that with Kash Patel and with Pam Bondi, they're going to clean house in the Justice Department and get rid of these deep state prosecutors who think that they rule above the law. And look, this all started under Eric Holder and his Justice Department when Barack Obama was president. And these people, these holdovers, they have continued to prosecute anything and everything Republican. So I do find it rather rich that Democrats now say, oh, please, we just need to all get along. They have they have full force this since 2017, and we're going to have a reckoning now, and the truth will be uncovered, and the American people are going to be saddened and shocked at just how politicized and out of touch the Department of Justice has become under Democratic rule.
And not really any surprise, like what we're hearing on both sides of this. I do want to say really quickly, Dr. Jill Biden, just moments ago at the White House, saying that, quote, of course, I support the pardon. David, to you, I mean, it's no surprise, really, how each side is reacting to this. But is this maybe another example of our justice system needing some real reforms?
Well, I think that's it. I think it's not fair when we make this broad categorization that it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans. And I've always resented that when people have said, oh, it's the Democrats going after Donald Trump. Well, it happens to be a prosecutor from this part of the country, a prosecutor there, a district attorney, an attorney general. Just to say that it's Democratic scheme, or to be fair, on the Republicans or on the Democratic side, to say it's a Republican scheme, I don't think that's fair. I don't think it does us any help to try to boil it down to this bumper sticker slogan that if we're going to clean house, that's going to fix the problem. I don't think so. I think we have to find real reforms, not just the person, the personality, but the actual policy that governs the Department of Justice, the attorney generals, the district attorneys. I think we really have to talk about that and unroot this problem that has been bothering all of us on the Democratic, Republican side, and makes it just too easy to claim, oh, it's a political witch hunt. On whichever side you sit on the aisle, that's not fair to the American people. I don't have an answer to this problem, but we need to talk about it and figure out how do we do this other than just firing people, hiring people. I don't think that'll solve the problem.
All right. And really quickly, we're running out of time here, but Matt, I do want to end with you. Do you think what happened today will ultimately result in more good news for Republicans in 2 years when it comes to the midterms? Will this, do you think, come back and bite Democrats?
Oh, gosh, Nicole, that's a million years from now. Donald Trump hasn't even been sworn in yet. I think that right now Donald Trump is worried about his first 100 days and upending some of the many harmful executive orders that the Biden administration signed when they came into office, and changing the political culture in this country for the better, which is what the electorate voted on November 5th. So the midterms are a million years from now. I don't think that it's too hard to even crystal ball it till March, much less November of 2026.
Fair enough. We got to get to that first 100 days. All right, David Carlucci, Matt Klink, thank you both. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great to be with
See
you.
you, David.
Thanks.